Hello, I'm Jeff. Welcome to Book Slump. Today's topic is fantasy books that will change your life. I've got a pile here, slightly wobbly. For me, when I say fantasy books that will change your life, I mean these have changed my life. I think about the characters. I think of them as friends. I inhabit the world even when I'm not reading the book sometimes. I enjoy being in the world. I've given away the books. I've wanted people to meet my friends. So I've given away the books to them because they're like friends to me and they have been throughout my life. So I thought I'd just take you for a quick spin through the books that I think are going to change your life. If they haven't already, and I hope they have, and I hope you have enjoyed them, and you might take a look at one of these and it might change your life too. So without further ado, the first book is A Wizard of Earthsea by Ursula K. Le Guin. This was her first foray into fantasy writing and her first foray from science fiction into writing for children. But it's more than that. Anyone can read this at any age and you will just be blown away. We follow Sparrowhawk. He is the titular character, the person who could become a Wizard of Earthsea. This is a world where magic exists, where wizards work with winds, work to make crops grow, work to bring the sheep home, and work magic to save lives, to heal. He wants to go to the island of Roke, where the wizarding school is. This is an archipelago, a place of lots and lots of islands, and he moves from his tiny little island and travels to that place. It sort of is for me, it's a better story than Harry Potter and Hogwarts, and because the magic in this feels real. It has a real depth to it. It's a character in its own right. And this person, Sparrowhawk, he will travel in a world where dragons exist and ancient evils come alive, and he has to find a way to defeat them. And the book begins when he is a little boy and travels right through till he becomes a man. And if you read the other four books, I have just in the quartet, the Earthsea Quartet, I only have the two copies of the Earthsea Quartet, which include this book, A Wizard of Earthsea, in it. You will follow him from being a small boy to being an old man and go on some amazing adventures. Ursula K. Le Guin is for me the finest writer of worlds. She creates worlds in which you could step into them and inhabit them with her, and you would understand the world and you would find a place in that world. And I have loved these books since, well, this book was 70p, so it shows you how long I've had this. And having multiple copies, well, I think that's sort of a guarantee of quality. The next book is Sir Terry Pratchett's Weird Sisters. I've read all of these books, and this is really the first one I ever read, and it was a gateway in. It's the story of the Weird Sisters, Granny Weatherwax, Nanny Og, and Magret Garlic, the three witches of Lancre. Lancre is a tiny little kingdom on the Discworld, a flat world on top of elephants that flies through space on the back of a turtle. A world where magic is everywhere, and like in A Wizard of Earthsea, it has consequences. This story is all about a little boy who one day finds himself without a father because his uncle killed him. It's sort of the beginning of Hamlet, or how Hamlet becomes Hamlet. But in this case, thankfully, we don't have to go through the whole plot of Hamlet. There may be people who love Hamlet, okay, but not me. And so this little boy, Prince-to-be of Lancre, finds himself protected by the witches who find a way to help him. And we follow the story of the witches who have so much work to do to ensure that he becomes king and the land of Lancre is happy once again. We follow them through comedy, through pantomime, through laughter, through tears, through an unbelievable love affair for Magret Garlic. And it's just so much fun. It's so comforting. Once you've read this, you'll just read all. I have all the other Discworld novels, and you will just want to read all of them and follow the stories of the witches in the many books that Sir Terry Pratchett wrote. This is a winner for me. It's just such a lovely story. Granny Weatherwax is an absolute force of nature, the kind of fairy godmother every boy needs and everyone should be afraid of. I just hope this review lives up to her high standards. Excuse me. The next book, which I think would change your life, it certainly changed mine, is The Lion, the Witch and the Wardrobe, which doesn't have a cover in my copy because this has gone round the house to many children and out of the house and back again, and the cover has disappeared. But The Lion, the Witch and the Wardrobe, if you don't know the story, it's step through the wardrobe and you are in C.S. Lewis's world of cold, a snow queen. You're in a world of talking animals, of talking hobgoblins, of badgers that talk, of a lion who is king. And you are in a battle against an ice queen who will take your life and turn you to stone. It's wonderful. Lucy and Peter and Edmund and Susan go on incredible adventures that aren't just for children, they're for adults. And it's an amazing story, especially at Christmas to read, because it just sums up what the holiday spirit is all about. I love it because I check every wardrobe and every place I go just in case I could just nip through into Narnia. Narnia is a wonderful place of adventures, and if you read all the other stories that C.S. Lewis wrote, you will not be unhappy. It will stay with you. So the next book is, excuse me, The Hobbit. Just a couple of copies here of my many copies of The Hobbit that are floating around the house. What can I say about The Hobbit that hasn't been said before? It's just a wonderful story of a tiny person who goes on an adventure that he didn't expect. A little hobbit traveling through Middle-earth where magic slips around you wherever you go, where elves are, well, they can be ethereal, but they can also be curmudgeonly, where you can go into an elven realm, you battle spiders, trolls, orcs, goblins, giant bats. It is just a wonderful adventure, a true fantasy adventure, the adventure every child I think should read. I was read this by my teacher when I was 11. We'd go swimming on a Friday afternoon and come back to the class, and this would be the book that was read, and it just transformed my world. This was my introduction to fantasy, and it just stays with me. Bilbo, he stays with me. He's here with me every day. I mean, to the point where, as you know, if you know the bit of the story, he loses his hanky. Well, I still carry a hanky after all these years in memory of Bilbo. There we go, a confession. And then, of course, who can resist, once you've read The Hobbit? The Lord of the Rings by J.R.R. Tolkien. This is more, this is bigger, this is higher adventure. The stakes are higher, the one ring to reach the mountain. Again, there's elves, orcs, goblins, dwarves. We've met plenty of dwarves in The Hobbit, and they were just wonderful. A truly wonderful introduction to Thorin, Balin, Owain, Gloin, Biffa, Bofa, Dwalin, and so forth. But here, this is a story of true friendship, of the four hobbits, Frodo, Samwise, Merry and Pippin, of a fellowship that holds together and believes in one another and saves each other again and again and again and saves their world. I know this is 3 books, but, you know, once you've read the first book, you can't resist. This has been a friend to me my whole life. I've got quite a few quite grotty copies where I've read them again and again. Again, I read this straight after The Hobbit when I was 12, and it transformed my life, and I'm sure it will yours. And of course, we all know the true hero is Samwise. He's the best. my favourite. So, on to the next book. Philip Pullman's Northern Lights, or in North America, The Golden Compass. Just the 2 copies this time I have. I have a few more copies. Well worth getting the full box set of Northern Lights. It's a brilliant story. Lyra, the hero of this story, is a force of nature. If there's one book I have read to my daughters more than once, this is it. And they have read themselves. She is a force of nature. She drives the story forward. She's a young girl who finds herself, like most young girls, clever, inquisitive, and bored. And she goes for an adventure to find her friend who is captured, who is stolen away, kidnapped, and to find her uncle who is somewheres in the North Pole. This is a world of talking bears, of witches, of magic, of a religion, a church that has an iron fist and controls a society in that way. It's a world where every single person has a demon, a spirit animal. Lyra's Pantalimon is just such a beautiful character in her own right. She is a conscience to Lyra, who just jumps into adventure at any opportunity. We travel across ice-cold wastelands to a kingdom of bears, to a crescendo of a finale, which is only the very beginning of the three other. I just checks over his shoulder. Yes, 3 books. The Subtle Knife and The Amber Spyglass, which come on after. They are well worth purchasing. Get it as a box set. In fact, get all of these as box sets if they come as box sets, because they are wonderful. The next book is T.H. White's The Once and Future King. It's a great, great story of Arthurian legend told in an incredibly easy way to understand. And I don't mean that it's dumbed down. It's just the humanity of the story of Arthur and the Round Table and Guinevere, Lancelot, Galahad, and all the evils they face and all the troubles and the sadness. And we watch as Arthur, in these stories, we watch Arthur go from a young boy pulling the sword from Excalibur, or Excalibur from the stone, and then trying to be a good king, trying to do right for his people. And it's told so beautifully that you could read it. I would recommend reading it to children, giving it to children to read, and reading it yourself. It's comforting. It's a friend in dark times. It was written during the war by T.H. White, so you can imagine the atmosphere in which he wrote it and the stories he wanted to tell within it and the message he had about the world. It's a great read. I recommend it. And finally, the last book, or series of books I recommend, well, the first in them, is actually a own adventure books by Joe Dever, Flight from and Gary Chalk, Flight from the Dark. I have 2 copies. Basically, get your pencil, get your rubber, photocopy the tables in here and the sheet, create your character, flip through the pages to where you want to go, make decisions. Yes, no, will I kill the orc? Won't I kill the orc? Will I hide? Won't I hide? Do I want to go into the town, or will I slip down the river holding on to the bank? It's brilliant. You can be your own hero in these, and I don't think they get enough glory, really. It's nice to watch others being heroes, but it's equally nice to be your own hero. And you can read these at any age. I probably got this just straight after The Hobbit when I was a little boy. This copy's going strong, and I bought this copy in a box set of 5 adventures, Lone Wolf adventures. This is great. These are brilliant. So that is my fantasy books that I think will change your life. They've certainly changed my life. I hope you enjoyed the video, and please support your local library, support your local bookshop, like, subscribe, and ding-a-ling that notifications bell. Thanks. Have a great day.